Hey guys, this is cow tongue soup and it's amazing. And I'm gonna show you guys how I cook this step by step, all right? Hey guys, I'm here at Latte Market in Orlando and we are about to get some cow tongue because we're gonna make something real special. So I got here and I'm a little surprised at how expensive cow tongue is. Holy cow. But we gotta do it. Hey guys, so we just finished boiling our cow tongue. It's been boiling for probably about an hour. And now we're just basically peeling the skin off of the tongue here. So it's not that hard to do. It kind of peels up pretty easily. So here we go. But this really is a legit tongue. Like there's nothing untonguey about this. It's all just a tongue. But we're gonna cook this thing up and it's gonna be amazing. I can feel it in my bones here. So I'm gonna finish peeling this and then we're gonna get to cooking it. Oh. Hey guys, today I'm gonna show you how I cook a cow tongue. Now this has already been boiled. We boiled this yesterday with some onions, some garlic, and a little bit of salt and pepper in the water. So it's already been prepped. We peeled the skin off yesterday. You can watch my video on that online. So all the skin is off and we have our raw tongue. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna cut this tongue into smaller portions. So the tongue is really divided into four pieces. So there's the bottom piece, there's the back piece, there's the middle piece, and there's the tip. And the pieces have different characteristics. So this back piece here is gonna be your most tender part here. So you can cut these pieces a little bit bigger. The middle portion, that's gonna be kind of medium. You can kind of cut that however you like. And then this tip part's gonna be a little bit chewy, and this bottom part's gonna be a little bit chewy too. So you wanna make sure you cut those pieces into smaller portions. So we're gonna start by cutting this back portion off. See all the fat and everything in there. This is just gonna be so good. I'm excited about this. So we're gonna cut this thing right about here. And now we have the back portion. This is the most juicy portion of the tongue. So we're gonna cut that into portions. And we'll probably cut these a little bit thicker than we cut the rest of it. So we're cutting these about 1/2 inch thick here at the back. And then we're gonna cut them up some more because this is gonna go into a Thai curry. That's what we are making today. So we're gonna cut this into cubes about this big here in the back, okay? We're gonna do that with all of these. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna sear that in a cast iron pan. So we're actually gonna get that pan out. Get that pan nice and hot. And we're gonna sear that in some butter. And we just wanna get a little brown on that. We're gonna end up cooking this whole thing in the slow cooker. But we wanna give it a browning first before we put in the slow cooker. That's gonna help it seal in the juices. It's gonna make it very savory, very delicious. Now we're gonna cut up this bottom part here, which is a little bit tougher. We probably wanna cut this into little smaller pieces than we cut that initial piece there. So we're gonna cut these a little bit thinner. These are gonna be about 1/4 inch thick. Oh gosh. And this just looks like just such good meat. Like it just looks delicious. Like, oh, like it just looks so good. So now we're gonna get the middle portion of the tongue that we're also gonna cut pretty thin because now we're getting to the part of the tongue that's gonna be not quite as fatty and it's gonna be a little bit stiffer. So we're gonna cut that into a little bit smaller pieces, or at least thinner pieces. They don't have to be super small, but we want to cut them a little bit thinner so that they don't end up being really big and chewy. I'm telling you, this is some good stuff right here. Like, people have no idea. People look at this and they're like, ew, gross, tongue. You have no idea what you're missing. Like this is like the best part of the whole darn cow. It's like, it's crazy that people don't eat this more. This tongue was $47. So there are people that are eating this and there is a demand for this, but it seems like there's a lot of people that just don't know. The people that know, and they're paying big money for these tongues because this is some quality meat here. This is literally the best cut of meat on a whole cow. So I'm gonna cut my finger up here on this last piece here. All right, so we've got our pan hot. We're gonna put some butter in there. I'm gonna move you guys over here so you can see exactly what we're doing. So that's our pan there. We've got our butter in here. Get that pan nice and hot. I'm gonna throw our garlic in here too. Prep this garlic already. Saute that garlic in there, get it nice and aromatic in there. I can smell that garlic and butter. That is so good. And now we're gonna get some of our meat here. Way too big cutting board. We're gonna overcrowd the pan. Let that brown a little bit. Let the pan get hot again here. And then we add a little bit more. Got that on high heat right now until we get this all browned. I'm going to eat a piece of this before it gets to the slow cooker. That's how good this stuff is right here. Let me get the rest of this in here. All we want to do is just get this a little bit brown. And then we're going to go ahead and put this in the slow cooker. While this is browning, I'm going to get a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to put that in the slow cooker. We've got our slow cooker on, and this is going to go right into the slow cooker once you get a little brown on it. I'm going to put a little bit of seasoning on this. I like Slap Your Mama seasoning, which is going to give us a little bit of flavor here. You don't do too much because we're going to do a lot when we get it inside the crock pot. I feel like I'm just going to have a little piece of this early, so I kind of want to put a little flavor onto it. And you can see some of the meat starting to get brown. That's what we want. We want a little bit of browning of this meat here. I'm like trying hard to resist grabbing a piece of this and eating it, but I can't any longer. So we're going to grab this little piece right here. Oh my God. That is so... I could stop cooking right now. This is amazing already. For those of you turning your nose up at cow tongue, you have no idea what you're missing. If you like beef and you like meat, then you will definitely like cow tongue. Now, if you're a person who doesn't really like meat very much, then cow tongue might not be for you. If you're a meat eater, cow tongue is right up your alley. All right, so we're gonna move this over to the slow cooker. I'm gonna move you guys over to the slow cooker. All right. a little bit sticking to the pan, so I'm gonna just ease that in here. And we got everything inside the slow cooker here. We've got our, even want to get that sticky stuff on the bottom there. We want to get all of it in here because that's where a lot of the flavor is down there. A lot of the fat that's burnt off. So, got this in our slow cooker. We are going to add our onions and our parsley that we chopped up, fresh from the garden. I just walked down to the garden and picked this. And we've got 1 chili pepper left over from the summer. We're gonna throw that in there, it's dried out. And we're gonna put our carrots in there as well. And that is beautiful. Now, we are gonna let that cook. We're gonna also add our chicken broth. Just give it a little bit of liquid in here. And we're gonna let that marinate. Once that gets nice and hot, we are gonna add our spinach. This is Okinawan spinach here. And we have some longevity spinach in here as well. And we're gonna add our potatoes as well. All right? Okay. Now we're gonna add a little bit more seasonings. We're gonna add some rosemary that we just picked from the garden. We've got some Cuban oregano or broadleaf thyme that we also picked from the garden. We're gonna leave this as one piece because we wanna remove this. We just want the flavor to come out of it. And we've got some bay leaves. We're gonna add a little bit of curry powder. Or a lot of curry powder. A little bit of cumin. A little bit of allspice. I'm gonna put some turmeric in here. Now this is also turmeric that I got from the garden. Harvested this from the garden, made it into a powder. And we're not gonna put any hot pepper in it right now because we got a pepper in there and we'll see how it goes. So we're gonna cook that. We're gonna throw our potatoes in as well. The only thing we have left to really add is our spinach and probably a little bit more seasoning and some coconut milk, all right? So we're gonna keep going in a minute here. All right. So we've left this in here for about 5 hours cooking on really slow, on really low heat in the slow cooker. Show you guys what this looks like now. Oh my gosh. This meat is so tender. All right. I'm gonna remove this bay leaf here that we see. So now we're gonna add our last couple ingredients. We're gonna add our coconut milk. We're gonna add our butter beans. And last but not least, we're gonna add our spinach. This is the Okinawan spinach that we harvested last night. There's a little bit of longevity spinach in here too. It might look like a lot, but this is gonna boil down, and eventually there's gonna be almost nothing in here. But it's gonna have a nice little consistency to the whole thing, and it's gonna be super tasty. You guys up here so you can see that. I'm just gonna mix that in there. We're just gonna keep that on low. And we're gonna let that go for another couple hours, okay? All right, so we've let that go for another hour. And oh my gosh, that looks so good. It smells amazing. We add a little bit of salt. So now we're gonna go ahead and taste it. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, so we're just gonna try a little bit here. This is kind of like, so now's the moment of truth. We're gonna try our cow tongue soup. We only have a small portion because it's actually like 6 o'clock in the morning. It just finished cooking in the slow cooker, but it is looking very delicious. Here's a piece right here. That is so good. We got some potatoes. We got some longevity spinach and Okinawan spinach from the garden. The broth is really good. I'm cutting it with my spoon. My spoon cuts the meat. It's so soft. Tell you what, I think that was worth the money. If you guys want to see the video of how I cook this, you can go to my YouTube channel at Andre the Farmer. All right? See you guys. Bye.